So welcome to this episode of the Entrepreneur's Rumble. The Entrepreneur's Rumble is, Rumble as it is a matter of a little punch up, but you're not going to really get to a punch up. But it'd be like talking to somebody who's done something interesting. So my guest today is Ramesh Nambiar, and you guessed it, right? He comes from Kerala. No, you're wrong. He's from Singapore, and originally from Kerala somewhere. So he's into business. In fact, he's into training people to become trainers, if I would say, call it that. So welcome to the show, Ramesh.
Hi, thank you.
It's very rare that we come across people who train, not just for the money, but then train people to become businessmen also, along with your teaching skills, speaking skills. So tell me, how did you stumble upon this idea?
It was actually not an idea of mine.
Okay.
I happened to be at the right place at the right time.
All right. So is that step number one in your growth as a businessman? Be in the right place
yes.
at the right time?
Yeah. And the thing is, I did not decide it either.
Okay.
It just so happened that I happened to be in a program. I was attending a friend's program.
Okay.
And
This is
I
what is going
was
on.
actually pulled out.
Right.
Pulled up. That person actually met me in Singapore when I was serving my national service.
Okay.
And there he was in the US, in Chicago, and on a trip there, and he just pulled me up on stage. Anyway, this is not about me. It's for what I want to do.
Yeah, sure. It's also about you. People want to know real flesh and blood stories instead of some fake anecdote in a book. So, this is something that you've gone through. So it's far more believable and realistic.
But there are so many people out there who really are doing a lot of things and not being recognized too. I would love for them all to step up.
That's true. There's this new concept where everybody's talking about personal branding, which I talked to somebody who's an expert in personal branding.
Right.
So I told him, so what do you do? Just PR work? You're just sending nice things about him? He said, no. PR is sending out material which already exists.
Right.
Like he's done this, he's done that. But a personal branding exercise is creating a bunch of things for him to do, which will be of interest to the media.
Right.
Basically manipulating the media.
Yep.
Not always with false, facts, some truth. So here in your idea, you think the first step is efficient communication. I guess that's the reason.
Right. Because I believe strongly that international professional speakers and trainers have the real-time possibility of bringing good to the society.
Okay.
And that's where it all is. And for the society to understand that there is something good here which I can take and use in real-time values.
Okay.
Immediately, rather than just a theory of any kind. And that is where a lot of us tend to, drift.
They fail.
Yes. And I too have drifted in my younger days. When the money gets flashed, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's time for us to focus.
So what earth-shaking thing happened at that first meeting that you pulled up on stage by somebody?
Well, I actually went up on a 10-minute speech. I was asked to prepare immediately and go up.
Okay.
I didn't even expect that.
All right.
So when I went up there and I was given the time to speak, it went into about half an hour.
Oh, okay.
And I got a standing ovation from the crowd.
Wow.
So that's when I realized I too have the gift of the gab.
Okay. So this was a business-oriented meeting, or was it just social?
I was attending somebody's seminar.
Okay. So what was that seminar about?
He was actually speaking about, I believe it was on change management.
Okay.
And he was drifting on that area. I didn't even expect him to actually remember me.
Oh, so the guy who invited you was the one holding the course?
No.
Oh, he was not there too?
It happened to be the commanding officer with whom I was serving the national service.
Okay.
At the time.
So what did you go out there and say that actually convinced you in your own brain that I can do this?
Well, when I was young, I went through a lot of poverty issues as well. Okay. And at that point in time, I started, what would I say? I saw a lot of people drifting away from me and my family.
Okay.
So this gave me the impetus to go and study human behavior. I used to just sit and wonder, what's happening? Why is it that suddenly...
Why am I being shunned?
Yeah. Why are people just passing me by?
Okay.
And it could have been...
but were you already technically trained in anything, or were you qualified for some profession?
No, nothing to do with
you just finished school and...
Finished my school and all that. And my national service is where I was asked to come and speak for the courtesy campaign.
Okay.
And that's where this person happened to meet.
Right there.
Yeah, he happened to meet me there. And a few years down the road, after my national service, I met my colonel on the same board on flight. And he said his wife did not come along, so he wanted me to tag along.
So it's somebody to talk to on the long flight.
Yeah.
Okay. So this you launched your Shine, which I presume that's the one of the twin of the.
Shine is a group of companies.
Okay.
Right?
It stands for something.
It stands for Self-Help International Network Enterprise.
Okay.
It's an acronym.
So it's self-help is the key word to it because you started with that.
Yeah. And I did not start it back then. I only started it in 1999.
Okay. Self-help.
December 99, yeah.
But otherwise you were a motivational speaker, am I to assume that, or you were not even that?
I wouldn't even consider myself as a motivational speaker because I don't believe in motivation. I believe we can only inspire people to take action. So the motivation has to come from the person.
All right.
Not from me.
Okay.
Otherwise I would be motivating myself as I always have.
Okay. So you now that you've actually started Shine, you see this as a one-man outfit, or do you have an army of people whom you become converts?
It has been growing, and we have so many able people, good people on board who are very conscious about what society needs and how they can play an important role in their lives.
Is this? Do you think this is also part of the fact that you are from Singapore, and Singapore has been able to, create that thing among its citizens that you need to help each other?
Absolutely.
I think your Prime Minister was very successful in doing that.
Yes.
He's an inspiration to everybody, isn't he?
Yeah.
So you see that, you can come from anywhere. It's almost like a true story out of India. You're born in a village and suddenly you end up owning a gigantic company, software, this, that, the other. We come back, we find out what did he do in his early days, which then led to what he's doing right now, and why is he in India? So you also threw some new words at me. One was Equamity. Sociomity. So what is that? What's the combination of two words?
All right. It's based on the fact that every country grows on three mechanisms.
Okay.
Capital mechanism, market mechanism, and of course there's an all-rounded social mechanism.
All right.
Now, we can get stuck in the 20th century way of thinking. That's where many countries are left behind. Right? And people are left behind because of that.
People are still confused with the word 20th century. 20th century looks modern. You've got the 21st century you're talking about. That's today.
That's right.
Okay.
So we have to live in the present.
All right.
So we take the best from the past and use it in the present. And we will develop a great future together. And this is where it is. Why do we need to be stuck there? What's the purpose of being stuck in the old way of thinking? Someone told me, India is 20 years behind. And this happened just about 2 days ago. And my question is, why are you keeping India 20 years behind? Why would you need to give them know-how that is based on 20 years behind?
Okay.
It is purely money-making. That's about it. To me, I believe that you have to make money, yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be alive to do anything.
Doing what you're doing.
At the same time, bring to India what is happening right now, current, and bring India to this level right now, to the 21st century right now. Take the experience from the 20 years which from other people and just do something good about it.
Okay. So you're going to tweak it to suit today's times?
Absolutely.
So you must have people with experience in running businesses, to come and talk to you. There's a lot of professors out there who just profess to know things but actually are unfit to run anything.
No, I will not comment on that at all. Because I do believe everybody is intelligent in every way possible. And the reality is there is no equality there.
Okay.
There is a word called equanimity.
Yes.
And that too doesn't exist completely either.
All right.
Because of the variations.
Okay.
So what we are attempting with Sociomity is to bring the society to a level of equanimity.
Okay. So uplifting society entirely.
Absolutely.
To a higher level.
Yes, because we speak about uplifting humanity. At the end of the day, we have to take action on it. And the only way we can do it is with good people, not as a single person.
Yeah.
Trying to do something.
How important is it to have a vastly higher level of the common man's intelligence as opposed to let the common man be wherever he is, and let's have these islands of brilliance who will then take the rest of the people up?
Well, the thing is, this is where we are. We are looking at people who are socially conscious entrepreneurs. Those who have a consciously willing to actually uplift society.
Okay.
They would be the core people who will come on board, and that's what is happening all over the world right now. Bringing people up on board so that they can create a supportive platform to develop change. And this is what we provide. A platform where you do not lose your identity, because that is a very important thing. You don't become part of an umbrella and you are not recognized. We want every person to be recognized for their individual efforts, for their corporate efforts, and grow it. The entrepreneur.
So what is an average session at your courses? What do they entail actually? Sitting and listening?
No, ours is highly interactive.
Okay.
Because it's no point just talking and talking.
All right.
We believe in speaking.
Okay, so people are asked to come up and say things, or the leaders go up and do it?
Yes, they can. We actually allow them to ask questions and get answers, so that there is direct interaction.
So is there some kind of a course material? You give them a whole pamphlet and you flip through all that stuff and read tons of words?
No. You see, the real experience comes from not being distracted.
Okay, so you listen to what people are doing and you can ask your own questions there.
Absolutely.
And so are you in groups? Are you in clusters? Or is it a classroom situation?
We have different clusters as well. And we also allow them to come back on an individual basis as well. Okay. So there's a lot of things that can be done.
But another interesting thing I heard from you and your associates was that you also find people with the money to put where their mouth is. I mean, they have got the funds to invest if they are convinced. So is that one of the things that you do, bring people with the funds and get them to meet people with likely projects?
That is only one part of it.
That's a major part of business.
Yes, that's one major part of it, I would agree.
Right.
But the major essence is about what they can do for society at the end of the day. It's not all about that money they bring in.
All right.
However, that actually creates a change.
So do they tend to back only such projects, which are socially uplifting?
That's right. You see, that's what I'm saying. There are lots of people around the world who are uplifting humanity in their own special way.
Yes.
So it's what we are providing is a platform for all of them, all of us to come together, right? And do what you do in a better way. You see, when there's only one person, it's one individual circle. When two people join hands, there is an intersection.
Yeah.
And that intersection is what we are creating here.
Okay.
And that can actually create a lot of stuff. So when a person actually goes into business for the 21st century, he has to focus on 4 things. This is for existing entrepreneurs as well as those who wish to come up in entrepreneurship. They have to be willing to collaborate, complement, outsource, and resource. And in order for them to do that, they need 3 clear things in mind: intention, purpose, and compassion.
Okay.
Without that, the thing is,
I like that compassion bit, because that's generally excluded in, I don't know, maybe these days they are including that, but for a long while all that was excluded. It was hardcore business.
Yes.
Harvard Business School doesn't recognize the word compassion.
The thing is, what I'm saying right now has been practiced in the past, in ancient history. I'm not saying something new. Yeah. It's been forgotten, perhaps.
Or maybe you're articulating it in a better manner.
I've learned and I'm still learning.
Okay, yeah.
That's where I am.
Yeah, I understand that. So the areas that you specialize in are things that you did yourself, or again you learned through?
I've learned from many people, and I owe my life in that sense to many people, including my grandfather, my mother, and all. That is those were my mother and father.
Yeah.
Those are the first people I've met.
True.
Right.
True.
And there have been a lot of people who have come in as mentors.
Okay, folks. So you know what I would like to ask him. He comes from Singapore, which is a society that's stable and also, I guess, well developed, stable and yet developed. So we'll see. What does he think India needs so that we can, I don't know whether we can ever achieve the status of Singapore, but at least try and approach it. So we'll try to do that. So you've been to India on many an occasion, I presume.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and you come from Singapore, which
Yes.
is the leading nation among nations, no matter, forget about size and power, but as a happy nation or as a people successful, they are definitely up there, top one or two.
Yes.
So you've seen our country and you come from there. What would you essentially say is the difference between Singaporean society and India?
Well, simply put, it's the willingness to move forward, which I see it in Indians, in the majority of Indians, yet they're not sure how. That's what I gather. It's not.
So was it a great leadership in Singapore that did it?
Absolutely. You see, Singapore has no resources, no natural resources. Yet it is people power that actually brought the whole thing together.
Yeah.
People who were empowered by the government to grow at the same time. And here in India, I've been asked the same question. Yeah, you're coming from a small dot on the map.
Yeah.
My point is this: India has every resource on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Yet the only thing that is missing here is how you can grow it like Singapore, if not better.
Yeah.
So when you can actually identify these resources, the best way is to, why not turn India into small size spots, like Singapore, and manage them efficiently and grow it in that way. China is doing it. China has already done it.
China, apart from, I don't know about the small breakups, there's no identificational difference between any part of China. I mean, I really don't know whether some people outside China recognize this part of China. For them, China is this humongous nation who march together, look similar, walk to a common goal, admire the same sunrises and the same sunsets. But actually, they must be different people. I mean,
they have different cultures within China itself.
Which is not known. I mean, they talk a great deal about India's diversity, but the Chinese diversity is not so,
You see, what they do is when they come into the picture of a nation, they all call themselves Chinese.
Yeah.
They don't go into the dialects.
Okay.
Right? They don't say
And there's free mobility in their country. Everybody lives everywhere.
Yes, yes.
And I guess looks help that they all look similar too, at least to non-Chinese.
We all Indians look too.
Yeah, we look Indians, except Sardajis, with their distinct head.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, otherwise everybody looks the same. Yeah, but what is it that the Chinese have done? So essentially, I believe that Singapore has a Chinese identity strong behind it. Yeah. It's not an Indian identity or even a Malay identity, because there's a whole nation next door full of Malay people.
That's right.
In fact, two of them. You have Indonesia and you have Malaysia. But yet the Chinese, with whatever numbers they are, they have built in a different culture from everyone else around them.
Yep.
What did they borrow from China?
Borrow from China?
Or learn from China?
I think the Chinese people who went there.
Yeah.
Into Indonesia and into Malaysia. They have been very supportive in the growth of both countries, supporting the natives of that country as well.
Okay, and business practices or living. What is it that makes them stand out in this world? Every country in the world has got a Chinatown. Right. They don't have an India town ever anywhere in the world. There's no India town, but these people tend to cluster together, and so is that a great thing? Not to integrate or. I don't know.
Actually, I can't possibly say there's no India town. In Singapore, we have a little India.
One street.
Town. No, that is one street, but not all the Indians live there.
I know.
They live all over Singapore.
That's true. Now
it's just for namesake.
Yeah. Maybe it was true at one time and not true anymore.
In fact, that was supposed to be in the initial stages where the Indians gathered.
I guess more for comfort.
It was more in terms of getting a relationship building and all that as different cultures came into Singapore.
Did Singapore people learn from each other, or are they still watertight compartments?
No, we learn from everyone.
I guess
we learn from each other.
That's one thing that you guys can teach us.
Yes.
If you come from there.
We are not here to teach you anything. We are here to guide you in that sense, from what we know, and which has actually have a proven efficiency.
That's the main thing. You have a proven track record
of
having a run and efficient state.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what we are saying is learn from those who have the experience and grow it the right way.
So you think India should become a corporatized nation?
No. One of the things what I am
one CEO for every city.
It is no longer a corporatized thing, in the sense that it has to be run as a true social enterprise.
Okay.
When we look at Singapore, the way it is run is like a true social enterprise. Social enterprise is not about NGOs waiting for handouts. It's about running it efficiently so that even those who are unable to, fend for themselves, are being
looked after, but yet they contribute.
Yes.
So everybody is a contributing member.
Everybody must contribute, and that's where we are leading. Even in Singapore, it's taking shape bit by bit.
Okay. So do you think the system where everything is being handed down to the poorest of the poor should be scrapped in favor of everybody participate?
No.
In no matter how small.
You see, the thing is, you can give a person who is hungry food at that point in time, because he can't think about anything else.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about just keep on continually feeding the person. Right? It's about growing from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, where that person can fend for themselves.
So teach a skill in some other.
Yes. Gain a skill which can support themselves. Unless you're totally, in the US, there was this gentleman with no arms, no legs.
Okay.
The thing is,
paraplegic or whatever you call that.
I don't like that word paraplegic in branding people. Right. They are people with challenges.
All right.
Right. None of them. In fact, I find them more efficient than.
They have to manage things without arms. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's a matter of they are able to learn and do great things with their lives. Why can't we learn from them too?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's about that efficiency has to come from a point where we are able to uplift society to a level without losing.
So I see a certain level of a little missionary, zeal in you. You're always talking about finally uplifting society. It's not just a matter of running a business and making money out of it. So
when you have
that's be some pleasure.
Absolutely. You must have an end thing which is actually what you wish to grow.
Okay.
Something which is the driving force behind your entrepreneurship model.
Okay.
That driving force is what really expands and scales businesses. When you speak with the owners of the large Fortune 50 companies and all that, they've gone from a stage of money.
Yeah.
Right?
When they start now giving it away, give them
and they're
pleasure.
Not all of them are giving it away. They too have realized that they've done a lot of corporate mistakes.
Yeah.
And they go into CSR.
Okay.
Right? I call it patch-up work and repair jobs.
That's true.
But the thing is, there are some who are doing things in the true essence of what CSR is meant to be.
Okay.
So we have to actually give everyone the possibility of.
So when do we see you in your professional mold coming to India and doing it? In the next couple of months?
We've already started.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Once.
In fact, last night itself, we had a session with the people there.
Okay.
Yeah. In Chennai itself.
How is the reception towards your
Well, they did actually respond to us very well.
They did?
Yes. They do understand. See, for us it's very important. We ask a very simple question. Did you take away something which you can use right now?
Chalo. Ramesh, it's been lovely talking to you. And I guess my country needs more people like you. Just come here and show us a few words. Not necessarily teachers, but
I'm learning from
example.
you too.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so I wish to thank all Indians for allowing me and my team to be here to learn from you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you
very much.